Hi guys, got Carl behind the camera here with Luke from Team Shift, and recently Luke managed to top the Birmingham Regional going X11. What deck did you play?
I played Adventure Dragon Link.
Brilliant, let's see the list.
So the Adventure package is very scuffed, but this is what we had access to on the day. So I borrowed this off my friend, he only has 2 right, and I forgot to put Griffin in my deck list, or in my actual physical deck. But it didn't matter, because Griffins were rubbish. Every time I activated Fateful, they ogred it. So it didn't matter. It's great.
You're just using it as link engine anyway, right?
Yeah, to be honest, it worked out. Like the only time I actually wanted to add a Griffin, like it didn't matter. But every time I activated this, I got ogred. And when I didn't get ogred, I added, or like once or twice I didn't get ogred, I added a water, special to water, still made a vert, and then added a right for next turn. So like, it was a mistake not to put the Griffin on in my deck or on my deck list, but it worked out fine.
You definitely would have played it if you remembered it, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It was funny running joke all day. I was like, I don't need Griffin. Griffin's rubbish. But yeah, I'd definitely play a third right if I had access to one on the day. Foolish is also sort of part of this engine, really. Most of the time you send water. You can also send Absorata, but unless you've already got one of these, you always send this. And then for Dragon Engines, so I played 3 black metal, 1 red MD. This is just the best one, because if you draw it alongside this, it doesn't affect it at all. I also played 3 safer, so a lot of people were playing 1 just as like a Dragon Ravine send. I opted to play 3 because you don't always draw the adventure package, and if you don't, this is the best normal summon. And even if you do draw this, if you normal summon this, don't use the effect, it means you can Dragon Ravine send a levy, because you already have this engraved. So I just found it really good to see, because like I said, you don't always draw the Dragon Link engine, the Adventure engine, so it was good to have this as well. Obviously I played 3 Chaos Space and the 3 Chaos Dragons. These were just nuts all day. Dark add this was insane. It's like one of the best cards Dark can add, I think, in the game. And then onto the Rocket engine, we played 3 Quick Launch, 3 Tracer, 2 Rocket Synchron, and then 2 Router, 1 Recharger and Boot. I saw someone playing 1 of this. I think the list is rubbish. I mean, I'm not one to talk, I didn't play Griffin, but I don't understand not playing 3 of this. This card's just insane to draw. This is great at 2 as well, because you've got like Chaos Space Pitch, you've got the Fateful Pitch if you draw this. And also if you draw it alongside a Rocket, it's just insane just to special summon it. Make a seal, add a second Tracer or a Synchron or whatever. It's just a great card. And it's the best thing to seal summon, because a lot of the time you seal summon this and then nib them, and then you get a Rocket Synchron for next turn, which revives this and gets you a Tracer again, and yeah. Rocket Engine is just busted. And then obviously we played Dragon Ravine as well. Don't need to explain that. This is not common, but I had a couple spaces for the Riot that I wasn't playing, and the Griffin that I didn't realise I wasn't playing. I just wanted a main deck Optimistic Mind, because a lot of the time you go through Draco back turn 1. And if I drew this alongside like Black Metal, I get Special It, that's fine. If I draw it alongside like Safer, I can Safer pitch this and then Pisty it back, so it worked out fine. I didn't use it very often, but I didn't draw it very often. I played 1 Nocto. This card was okay. Yeah, it's not always live with a sort of slightly less dragon count with a adventure engine, but it was alright. Obviously Fusion Destiny package. It's a shame you have to play it, but you do. I drew both of these 1 game, but
And you opted to play the 2 Fusion Destiny, yeah?
Yeah, it's just like it's good bait if you want to just make a vert that gets, I don't know, Gammaed, Veilered, Mourned. You can sometimes have this as a follow-up. But yeah, DPE is just too good not to play, even if you do have to play 2 bricks, I think. And then I played quite a few hand traps, so all of these are quite common. Less common one is Phantasme, and then I also played Gammas, which I think is quite standard in this. So all of these make sense. You sort of want to just make it like a small board, like seal DPE pass, and then you backed up with hand traps. Phantasme was honestly the best card, like the best hand trap all day. Like these 2 were just insane. outside of like Virtual World, I can't think of too many matchups outside of the really heavy like Eldritch back row deck where you don't get to Phantasme.
Fluonder, I guess.
Yeah, Fluunder's another one, but I think with them having Shifter and everything, like, and so many of the engine just not being strong into Fluunder, I sort of took that as like I'm going to lose most game ones against that deck. But yeah, like the on-field effect doesn't really come up anymore. DPE just ruins this card, but the fact that you get to fix your hand and like you're sort of forced to play quite a few bricks with like the Destiny Heroes, the Fateful and the Drago back, like fixing your hand with this is great. Plus it's a dragon, so you can just normal summon, make a seal, and then you can play sort of around nib, where you get to like special remedy from deck if you get nibbed, or it's just half a vert or half of a dark. Like it's just great. Like I really love the hand traps that just put bodies on board. Nib was insane as well. Just Nib Veiler, Nib Gower, Nib Ogre for Griffin. Like,
yeah, having the 18 hand traps and how many? Because a lot of the theory is as well having one card vertes. So.
Yes, I think it was something like 23 one card verts, or one card if you counted this because this is DPE. So it was something like 23 one card verts, 18 hand traps, and then the rest was just sort of engine requirements, stuff like
extenders,
stuff like Rocket Recharger and Router, which like on their own don't do anything, but like. And then extra deck wise, we played Striker Pisty, Link Spider, this is also very standard. For Link 2s, we played all of these. Not much to say. Dark is insane.
Obviously no room, like Dragon Link used to run Hulk, but not really much room for it anymore.
There's probably room for it, to be honest. Like I played a card that I never summoned, so like I could have played Hulk there, but I didn't find Hulk came up too often. Like Hulk like Link climbing up to Access Code is really good, but I don't have an Access Code, so I didn't play one. And for Link 3s, I played Triple Burst and Unicorn. Sometimes you get to Triple Burst Pisty. It came up once or twice, and Unicorn's great just for like spinning a DP that didn't pop itself. I played this as my Link 4. I really wasn't sure what to play because I didn't have access to an Access Code on the day. I didn't summon it, but I also never saw a point where I'd have summoned an Access Code, so this could have been Apollo, probably would have been more useful, but I wanted something that was dark in case I have to lock myself into darks with Rocket Synchron or Rocket Tracer. And I thought it would work nicely with this. I just sort of wanted like a big Link to destroy back row cards, and the idea was having these two together, or like this and Rocket Tracer to trigger this, but I didn't play any like heavy back row matchups. The closest to back row I played was Sky Striker. I think this has already got a good matchup. Like, I've got the Phantasmes in the main deck, so. And then you obviously play the U3 Synchros.
Good stuff, and on to the side?
Yeah, so the side was not great, if I'm honest. Droll sort of has to be there for like Brave decks going second, but also like I wanted side cross outs, and I needed at least one of these in the side because Droll is the biggest hand trap you want.
Like you say, when you have a main deck weakness to Fluandre's having the Droll there as well. Yeah,
Droll was sort of like, it's the only hand trap in my side, but it's the only one that I don't think quite makes the main deck. I sided Shared Ride, which was a sort of a rogue pick for a side deck.
Droll 4 through 6.
Yeah, pretty much. I just actually thought that this was better than Droll, where like if I go second, do I want to stop them drawing, or do I just want to draw like 4 cards, or like force them to, I don't know, give me 2 and then stop? When I'm playing like the 18 hand traps, like Shared Ride drawing into like a mixture of these is just nuts. Like every time I used it, I got like 2 draws and then they stopped, so it was like just better than a draw. Played Droplets because I felt like I had to for going second. It's 60 cards, so you can't always expect to draw it, but you just sort of want as many scythe outs as you can. With the 18 hand traps, I like to think that most of the time I didn't get scythed, but it was there as an extra option because like going second against, I don't know, some decks you might want to take out the Phantasmes for and put in the Droplets, or you might want to take out the Ogres in some matchups. I played 3 Twin for the back row decks. Also Prank Kids.
Dice as well, I suppose, for the Schism.
Yeah. it just felt like I had the space to play like one set of back row removal. In hindsight, I'd maybe drop something and play Cosmics as well, because Cosmic at least still hits Scythe. And then I've got like 6 for, you know, like an Eldritch deck, or like the 60 card pile deck that plays like the Eldritch cards. So yeah, side deck wasn't great, if I'll be honest. I could definitely improve on that. But sort of built the list the night before with no real expectation to top, to be honest.
Learned a lot from the event then in terms of the deck and
yeah, I feel
more,
like
more cards to put in it.
Yeah, I knew what I was doing with the engine. The only thing I really learned was like, I learned a few interactions with like Sword Soul, which I wasn't too familiar with, but the deck itself, I knew what I was doing. It was quite fun to play. It's like it's really nice playing a deck with like so many different decision trees, and really enjoyed it.
Brilliant. Any closing thoughts or shout outs or anything?
Yeah, I'll shout out Adam for lending me the scuffed Brave engine with a 2 right, but still appreciate it nonetheless. It was actually great just to draw 1 water and 1 right instead of drawing like 2 water, 2 right like I did the weekend before. But yeah, shout out to Carl, who's recording the video. Drove us to the regional and does a lot of our deck building, does a lot of our theory. And I want to shout out Michael for all the work he does with the channel. Yeah, that's it.
Brilliant. Cheers, guys. Bye.